tu sahi 7k 7000 ndo nimekuwa nimelipwa salary ya March na nikaekeza pale 7k, pesa imeenda hivyo.
For some, gambling becomes an escape from reality, a desperate attempt to turn their lives around. But the longer they gamble, the harder it becomes to escape these consequences, sometimes leading to the tragic decision to end it all. On March 18th, the body of Frederick P. was found floating in a waterfall in the Eldama ravine after allegedly writing an encrypted message to his wife. Kiptui allegedly took his own life after losing 2,000 Kenya shillings in a gambling app. The bet loss is believed to have contributed significantly to his emotional distress. His wife Naomi Jalagat said her husband had been struggling with gambling for the past 4 years. 6 days earlier, overwhelmed by the loss, Kiptui penned a script, a Facebook message before allegedly ending his life. Jalagat says her husband had been battling gambling problem, and before his disappearance, he told her that he was not feeling well. He really predicted that his body would be found in the water. Kiptui's story is not unique. Across Kenya, countless individuals like 29-year-old Jane Katunge are grappling with the same destructive circle. In fact, in 2020, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, while pushing for a look into battling control and license board regulations, highlighted the severity of Kenya's gambling crisis. According to the excess industry statistics, painted a grim picture of addictive battling that had led to financial and social distress, with some cases ending in suicide.
It has not been a bed of roses. Let me be honest here. We've come under intense pressure. As you know our country. You are attacked, you are criticized when you are moving in the right direction. But I have never been more resolute on something than I am on this. This thing is destroying our people. Let us not accept it. There is no country, show me one country on earth that has been built as a result of this gambling. Many of you leaders who are seated here, you are business people, you are investors, you work hard, you earn your living by working hard. You do not lie in your beds and take mobile phones and look for 10 million shillings by just sending some funny text messages. Let's not socialize our children to this madness.
Mary Katunge from Kabadi town in Kitui County has weathered the full storm of gambling addiction that began when a friend introduced her to the pastime during Chama meeting.
Secrets. I'm addicted to gambling. Like I'm such an addict to gambling. This gambling will introduce one of my best friend Yangu, who then works in a gambling site, one of the gambling sites, biggest gambling sites in Kenya. And so when I used to go to visit him, he used to introduce me kuniambia when you're gambling, it pays a lot. For sure it pays a lot, but it is becoming an addiction. It's becoming something bad to my family. Yeah, cause kwenye nimeajiriwa, tuliachiwa pesa. It's a story about last month. Tuliachiwa pesa by the boss that was to be used as a petty cash. And I took the money, because I knew our boss would be so busy, had I noticed about the money. So I took the money, nikajiekea, and then nikaenda nazo gambling. Luckily that day was not my lucky day. Kwenda gambling, I lost everything. It was 20,000 shillings. I lost the whole money kwa gambling.
She stabbed herself several times and were on the couch waiting to die. But fortunately, one of her children arrived from school and found her bleeding and helpless. Her child alerted the neighbors, who quickly took her to hospital. Months later, Katunge sought therapy in an attempt to heal, but the damage had already been done. Her marriage was now a casualty of her addiction. Her husband, unable to bear the weight of the betrayal and financial strain, took the children and left town, leaving Katunge to pick up the pieces of her shattered life. One of the mental health counselors explains that gambling addiction stems from the brain's dependence on dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and reward. She explains that each bet placed and won releases dopamine, giving the individual a high. Over time, their brain becomes reliant on these artificial high, needing larger bets and greater risks to achieve the same euphoria.
I don't think enough people understand that gambling is not a financial problem. There's a 2017 study, and you can message me so that I send it to you, that found 75% of the people with gambling problems in that particular study had some form of adverse childhood experiences, and that would lead to trauma. As we have now learned, trauma is not what happens to you, it's what happens inside you. And in that study, if someone had experienced 3 or more types of adverse childhood experiences like neglect, domestic violence, emotional abuse, they were 3 times more likely to develop a gambling addiction when they were compared with the average person. That's why gambling as a problem can never exist on its own. There is always a deeper emotional struggle. And if you can take away one thing from this video, let it be that gambling is not a financial problem. It's an emotional problem.
In March, a teacher allegedly committed suicide after he lost huge amount of money to betting. A source said that the teacher had taken out a loan from the bank only to lose the entire amount through betting. The same source also mentioned another case in Baringo, where a man instructed with paying workers gambling away the money given to him by his employer. He ended up taking his own life after losing the amount, the mistrustee said, and repercussions might have forced him to end his life. He regretted that quick money, becoming rich, and social pleasure has driven the youth to gamble, with many battling depressions and mental health issues after losing.
And there was one time, and the bad thing about me, I was in alcoholism, na bado nilikuwa gambling. The last time when I was in gambling, nili lose over 1.2, enye najua ni 1.2 million. The one that can be traceable, at least nili gamble, and still the other money. Mpaka wife usiku nikilala, wife ananiuliza, nini unashika kwa simu? Yeye anadhania mimi nafanya nini? Na niko na mpango wa kando usiku. Lakini mimi niko betting. Niko pale tu games na scroll, naangalia ni game gani zinashinda. Nakumbuka my first born child alizaliwa, nilikuwa namwekelea hapa. And I'm walking, bado mko niko kwa simu, looking for the games. And at the end of that, I wouldn't sleep. In the morning, the first thing naamka ni kuangalia games. That is on gambling. And now in addiction, maybe now in alcohol, ilifanyanga nika lose everything. Alcohol. I was not able to feed for my wife. I was not able to provide for my child. Child that I have named after my own dad. I won't care for him. Alcohol took everything from me. Now I don't have that family. We separated because of addiction. Squeeze at hatuongei. It is only that sometimes me contribute paying the school fees and so on. So I lost a lot of things because of addiction. And not that I would have done better. I was addicted.
This results to many gamblers turning to alcohol or drugs to cope with, which makes them even more worse and vulnerable. Some end up losing their families and jobs as well.
I've told you betting is like a disease, and also virtual and casinos, they are like a disease. I know of 3 effects of betting, and this will let nobody cheat you. Youths are going through debts, hostile relationship with parents and with friends.